refuse to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 16, 17. We nicked their guilt rings. Right, the bouncer's guilt ring.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day.
This is Umar for IFLTV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. I'm joined by the G-Man himself, Gareth A Davies. Couple of fight weeks this week in Birmingham and Guadalajara. We'll come on to that in due course. But let's get into heavyweight talk first, Gareth. From your end, have you heard anything more regarding this proposed multi-fight deal in Saudi Arabia for December?
Well, since I spoke to you last, I have spoken to Umar Abdullah, the head of boxing for skills challenge in Saudi Arabia for Prince Khalid. And I've also spoken to Alexander Krasiuk. That was 5 days ago, I spoke to Alexander Krasiuk. And notwithstanding the fact that some of them are going to have summer fights, Krasiuk told me that they are moving ahead with Daniel Dubois, the mandatory defence for Alexander Usyk. They're talking about it. I assume they're doing it. And it looks like Tyson Fury could be facing Andy Ruiz or Zhilei Zhang, but Tyson Fury said big announcement over a week ago, didn't he? So you assume they might fight in the summer. Umar Abdullah told me that they are all talking. They're talking to all of them about November, December time. It's their wish to try and do a major event over there, or a couple. He'd like to do 3 this year. He spoke about a lot of things he'd like to do, but they're very, very ambitious. I think the only one who may not fight, if it gets lined up, could be Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder. Joshua's fought recently. Wilder maybe needs a tune-up, but I think he's just as happy to take the Saudi money and fight over there. At least he's in the news again. They're being active. I know he had a gun in his car in Los Angeles, which is like kind of in the news for the wrong reasons. But I've seen his big camo Bentley. I think I might have sat on it and took a photograph of myself one day in Los Angeles when he and Fury were having their press conference there. I'm not sure if it was that car, but it looks like a military vehicle. It did that day. But I don't think there's anything too serious for Deontay. And if he's having a little puff, he's having a little puff. Was there marijuana in his car as well?
No, I didn't see that. I just
No, maybe there wasn't marijuana. Maybe I'm mistaking that. I don't want to accuse him of the wrong things, but Deontay's not a dangerous, wild character. And, you know, I think he would have just gone along with, we know Deontay well, and we'll have gone along with the law enforcement there, and, you know, they found him with that in there and it's concealed or whatever. And you probably can't be within the LA precincts without a license, I imagine. Something like that. But he doesn't, to get back to the point, he probably doesn't need to have a fight. Neither does Anthony Joshua. Would they risk both of those guys fighting before they fight in? No, they wouldn't. And Eddie Hearn's come out and said, you know, we're nearly there. If they're there, they'll wait, in my view, which is why I think that whole December thing was put out there by Joshua anyway. But it's you know, it's a pain in the proverbial at the moment, because we're so excited about all these heavyweight fights. And I've said it to you even before Joyce lost to Zhilei Zhang a few weeks back, there were about 7 fights in the heavyweight division that were so enticing. And even if we got 4 of them, I'm sure I've said this to you, even if we got 4 of them, then great, we've got an era. But we haven't got an era at the moment. Where's the era gone? You know, what are we waiting for? It's an end game for so many of them. Wilder's 36, isn't he? You know, Zhang's 40 a couple of days ago or yesterday. Fury's getting in his 30s now. Joshua, White, all these guys. You know, Joe Joyce is 36, 37. Come on, guys. Make it happen.
Yeah, but if we get Usyk, Dubois and Fury Ruiz in the summer, and they both respectively win their fights, I'm talking about Fury and Usyk, then this...
Then get it on. Get it on.
No, but there's got to be no reason. There's no reason why it doesn't happen in December in Saudi.
there was no reason why it wouldn't happen in at Wembley last weekend.
Well, they won't because of Saudi Arabia. They're clearly waiting for the money.
Yeah, because there wasn't enough money on the table.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've talked over that many times. I'm blue in the face talking about it, but it doesn't help the overall picture of boxing. You know, when people talk about Ryan Garcia, Gervonta Davis being the game-changing boxing fight, hello, it was a great matchup. You know, it went as many of us thought it would. It's good they're doing it, but Gervonta Davis isn't the new face of boxing.
No.
He may be in 2 years' time. Shaka Stevenson may be in 2 years' time. Devon Haney may be in 2 years' time. Those are fights that America needed. Boxing needs these heavyweight fights, Umar. You know that. And they need them announced. It's like the big tease all the time, you know?
Okay.
Let's have a climax to the division, to the heavyweight division. Let's have it. This is the climactic time in the division. The last year and a half of this era, when these guys are late 30s or mid 30s or early 30s, you know?
Okay, well, we shall wait till December and see what happens in Saudi Arabia, because if anyone's going to do it, and if it's going to happen at any time, it will be that time, won't it?
Yeah, and Amir Abdullah is very confident that he can get those guys there, but he did say to me in the interview, we know it's 7 or 8 months till then, and a lot of these guys have got to fight before then. Just
on that as well, Gareth, I guess a lot of people will have questions about the broadcaster in terms of that one night, if that is pulled off in Saudi Arabia. However, if Skills Challenge are putting this on, they will have the rights, won't they, Gareth, and they can sell it to who they want. Will that be correct?
Well, they did last time, and they sold it to Sky, didn't they, with Joshua and well, that was Joshua and Usyk. The rights for Fury and Jake Paul, which I think they also had, that went to BT Sport and
ESPN.
I want ESPN in America, yeah. So look, it makes sense for them if they're paying a huge site fee to hold the TV rights globally, because they've got to get their money back. As Amir Abdullah said to me, they're having to do their due diligence. They're so ambitious. Maybe they get 4 dressing rooms because they're going to need them if they do it all on the same night, aren't they?
Yeah.
They can't share a dressing room.
No,
you get Fury on now and he say, yeah, I'd share a dressing room with Wilder. I've shared whatever it is, 31 rounds in a ring with him, or whatever it is, 30 odd rounds. Why can't I share a dressing? Nah.
You know, that is a point, because obviously Fury's got an exclusive with BT and ESPN. Joshua's got an exclusive with DAZN. I believe network-wise, Usyk and Wilder are both free agents, so that shouldn't be a problem. But yeah, if you know, they're putting on the fight, so it could end up on, I'm guessing, any broadcast, whoever pays the most. Yeah, it would, and it's good. That's good, market economy, and it's a big night. I mean, if they do pull it off, it'll be one of the biggest heists, good heists, that we've seen in boxing. Don King did it with the HBO series in 86, 87. Mike Tyson ended up undisputed heavyweight champion. It was a great thing they put together at the time. It was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. If they can pull it off, good luck to them. I mean, I really do hope they can. But from where I'm sitting right now, 2 guys probably wanting summer fight. Usyk definitely needs some summer fight. He can't fight Fury in November, not having fought for 16 months. It's conventionally wrong. Well, he has to anyways, because he's got a mandatory. Otherwise, he'll have to.
Yeah, if they want to fight for the undisputed, you're right. He has to.
Yeah. Gareth, just get your reaction to Thomas Hauser's piece about Anthony Joshua in The Guardian. He said that he should retire from the sport. Your thoughts?
Well, I mean, that's a view shared by some of the other old schoolers, you know, including people like Colin Hart, that they think that he's even used the expression busted flush. I don't agree. I think Anthony's got a bit more mileage in him. I think he's got 2 more fights, definitely. Wilder and Fury, please. You know, at least those 2, and maybe Dillian White as well. You know, I hope so. It'd be nice to see him get in there and give it a go. I mean, I haven't read his piece yet, I hasten to add. And what is he saying? That he doesn't have anything left?
Yeah, he says that he should call it a day. It'd be the best.
But you can make that argument. You can make that argument. People are saying that about Joe Joyce. You know, he should retire because he takes too many punches. You know, one of my mentors, Colin Hart, wrote that in a column recently, I think, in The Sun. So you can make that argument. You can also make the argument he's got too much money in the bank to worry about boxing. And, you know, Thomas knows his onions, Thomas Hauser. He's a great writer. He's a Hall of Famer. Obviously, Muhammad Ali's biographer as well. I don't know if he mentions that in the piece, that, you know, that the great Ali went on too long, Muhammad went on too long, which he did. But no, I don't think so. I don't agree with Thomas Hauser. I think he's wrong at this point. But, you know, he speaks from experience as well, and that's his point of view, and he's entitled to that. But I disagree.
Gareth, just moving down a couple of weight classes. Get your reaction to Top Rank winning the purse bid for Beterbiev and Smith by 15 grand over Matchroom.
Yeah, but was it just over $2 million, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, that's either, you know, they played their cards close to their chest and just won it. A lot of people will be saying, God, how did they just win it by 15 grand? Something fishy going on there, but we don't know.
Doesn't that seem strange, though? I mean, 15 grand is nothing.
No, it isn't. But at the same time, you don't know if there was a leak or whatever. I mean, I don't know is the truth. So I'm only surmising and alleging. But I don't think it matters who has the fight. If it happens in America, great. If it happens here, great. If it happens on Sky, great. If it happens on BT Sport, great. If it happens on ESPN, all good. It's a great matchup. And I hope it happens over here, because I think Artur Beterbiev won a lot of fans. You want it in America, do you?
No, I think it'd be great here, but I think it's going to end up in Montreal, you'd imagine, in his hometown.
Kind of hometown.
Well, yeah, I don't think they're going to stick it in Russia, are they, Gareth?
No, they're not. But
it'd probably end up in Canada. I'd imagine that's where
it may do. It may do. It may do. And if it's there, I hope to go.
Okay.
Good fight. Really good fight. Really good fight.
Anything you want to talk about in regards to Conor Benn?
Yeah, definitely. Really pleased to see that he's announcing publicly that he's got a few regrets over how he's handled things. That's maturity kicking in and reality kicking in. I'm really pleased he's doing his case with UKAD. It's really good news. It turns a corner. It was a moral and ethical mess if he'd gone ahead and fought in another territory, another jurisdiction. A real mess, having not had a proper hearing with strict liability. I don't wish any ill on him at all. And no one does, frankly, in the industry. No one wishes ill on him. All I'd say is if he does get a ban and it's 2 years, I don't know anything about that, but obviously he gets a chance to do it through sporting resolutions with a tribunal panel of 3 with the chairman, his legal firm defending him, and UKAD being quasi-prosecutors. Look, he's 26, isn't he, Conor? At the very least, he can come back from this. And I think it will make him feel better. And you can see those signs already, you know? And I'm really pleased those pronouncements have come from it. It means he's getting stuck into the case now and not feeling that there's a witch hunt or everyone's against him, which I don't think they are. The trouble is you can read that cascade of schadenfreude on social media, which he fueled in some ways. And, you know, I just hope he gets a resolution soon. It doesn't stretch on too long.
Of course, he's in Mexico this week,
Yeah.
as his gym mate, John Ryder, takes on Canelo Alvarez as a mandatory challenger. Thoughts on this matchup in Guadalajara this weekend, Gareth?
Very dangerous one for John Ryder. You know, Canelo is the brick killer. I had a little interview with him. It's running in the Telegraph tomorrow or Saturday. It's running out on TalkSport as well. I love Canelo. I think he's terrific. And, the fact he's speaking English now is great. I've never troubled myself speaking to him in Spanish, you know, because that's always been fun. He's a terrific champion from light middleweight to light heavyweight. He's great for the sport. 62 fights. I can't believe it's a decade ago. I was there when he was fighting Floyd Mayweather as a 22-year-old, and getting a majority. It was a majority decision.
Somehow, yeah.
It's unbelievable. That was unbelievable. But he was a young raging bull in those days. Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico, the Akron Stadium, 50,000 fans. He's going to want to make a statement against Ryder. The best performance I've seen Ryder give was when he lost to Callum Smith, in my view. I didn't have him losing that night. It was a very close fight, and I thought he just pipped it, taking nothing away from Callum. But that's the kind of fight he's got to fight against Canelo, who likes to load up after a couple of rounds. So he's got to try and win a couple of early rounds. So his boxing, his movement, good defense, getting his jab, getting the respect to Canelo. I think if he can do that, because that blueprint's there from Dimitri Bivol. I know John Ryder isn't Dimitri Bivol, and he's also a southpaw. But if he can have that kind of strategy and take Canelo beyond 6, 7, 8, I think he's got a chance in the fight. And it would be one of the great upsets to rank with Fury against Klitschko in Dusseldorf 8 years ago, with Lloyd Honeyghan, 30, God, how long ago is it? Nearly 30 years ago against Donald Curry in Atlantic City, Cal Brook against Sean Porter and others. And if he can push it and frustrate Canelo like Bivol did, Bivol, great jab, great defense, frustrated Canelo, never let him get in the fight, he's got a chance. But I am picking Canelo to stop him in rounds 7, 8, 9. But I think if John goes out there and has a firefight with him, it'll be even more dangerous. Canelo will want to make a statement in front of his home fans. First time there for 12 years. And he also told me, as did Eddie Hearn, his promoter, that they are looking to stage a fight in the UK soon for Canelo as well, which I would love to see. He's got enough fans here to sell out a stadium. Be it Anthony Yard, Joshua Buatsi, who's got an opportunity to show that this weekend, or Callum Smith in a rematch if Callum beats Beterbiev. Canelo's one of the modern greats for me, and he's still only, 32? Probably got 3 years left. I want to see him fight David Benavidez yet, still rather. But, he could end up fighting 10 Brits, but he really is the Brit killer. And as he says, sorry, they're just all in my weight classes. I've just got to do it. Name them.
Amir Khan, Billy Joe Saunders, Matthew Hatton, Callum Smith,
Liam Smith.
What we are?
Rocky Fielding.
Ryan Rhodes. And John Ryder has a very challenging task this Saturday night, but best of luck to him. That's early hours of Sunday morning, live on DAZN, Canelo Ryder. A few hours before that, live on Sky Sports, Joshua Buatsi makes his return after a long time, Gareth. I believe.
Craig Richards. Yeah.
Yeah, that was May last year, wasn't it?
Yes, a year. It's a year.
Yeah. What you expecting from Buatsi this weekend?
Is it Powell Stepien?
Yeah, who was due to box Callum Smith.
Yeah, who was due to box Callum Smith, that's right. Probably because Beterbiev was being offered. Who knows? But he got an injury anyway, didn't he? We got some kind of injury. Pavel Stepien's got 12 knockouts from 18 wins and 1 draw. He's undefeated. He's a strong 6'2". I'd like to throw big winging hooks. He's a very aggressive fighter. Might suit Joshua Buatsi's style. Might take him into the trenches for a few rounds. I don't know if Stepien's been on the wrong end of heavy shots before. I really like Buatsi. 16-0. What was he? 14 stoppages? 12 stoppages himself? Something like that. Undefeated. We all complain he's moving too slowly. Should he have taken the Bivol fight? No, he moved away from Matchroom and DAZN. I want to see something from Joshua Buatsi in this fight. Stepien's a dangerous opponent. It's no gimme, this fight. I'm really looking forward to it. Like to see him really show some gears, and I'd like to see him in some big fights in the next 18 months, and definitely in a world title shot. Really looking forward to it. Going to be there for the Telegraph, for TalkSport. We're live from the World Resorts Arena, 15,000 arena, one of the 7 venues in the NEC on Saturday night. You'll be missed if you're not there. And yeah, looking forward to seeing Lauren Price fight again. Looking forward to Ben Whittaker not showboating too much. But, you know, again, another light heavyweight making his way, you know.
Definitely. All right, Gareth. Well, thank you very much for your time. We'll definitely speak soon.
There's a lot of content there tonight.
Sorry, should I reduce it for next time? Was it too
No,
taxing?
no. I just feel like I'm blathering on. I'm going to need to cook dinner.
All right, you go and get your dinner ready, and I'll.
What's
speak
for
to you
dinner for you tonight?
Fish, I think, some sort of cod dish.
Yeah, I'm doing fish.
Cod?
No, I'm doing squid ink linguine
Yeah.
with baby octopus,
Baby octopus.
Madagascar prawns.
You're having me on now, Gareth.
No, I'm not. I'll pull it all out and show you if you want.
This is what you have for on a Wednesday night.
Is it Wednesday?
Wednesday night, you have baby octopus and what? Madagascar.
Have you not had baby octopus?
I've never actually had octopus, no.
Well, they're called baby octopus, but they're actually a smaller species. They're not babies. They're a smaller species of octopus. Absolutely delicious.
Okay, well, I've just got a fillet of cod, but you enjoy your 5-star meal.
Oh, yeah, Captain Birdseye, yeah?
No,
You
not
having fish fingers,
birds.
chips? Is your mum making you fish fingers, chips and peas tonight?
No. I'm not stooping that low. All right, mate. Take care. We'll speak soon. Go on.
Because I refuse to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 16, 17. We nicked their guilt rings. Right, the bouncer's guilt ring.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day,